Welcome back. So this is going to be a bit of a complex lesson, but they just made some changes that we have to address inside the Angular CLI. So now they're at beta 32 and even version 3 right now. So I have to handle these changes and talk with you about them. So first of all, you can do a git checkup version 0.23 if you want to get the code as it is now, and we'll build on top of that from now on because the changes are important, so I have to update my CLI. What actually happened? Well, the Angular CLI team, they decided to make some major changes here. If we go down to the Angular CLI and we go into the changelog, then you can actually see the different changes here. And now we are working with the beta 32 that came out a week ago. Now this happens all the time. They will keep updating this all the time. What's the date today? It's actually 3 days ago. They'll keep updating this. They'll keep improving it. So you will face these issues if you do not know where to look. Right? So under the changelog, you can always see what's going on. Now, they always fix some bugs. They also do some refactoring. That's a good idea to do that. And they also add some features, right? Now, some of the breaking changes this time that we need to address is they removed the ng-init and ng-update. They're gone because their current implementation causes more problems than it solves. I showed you the ng-init, so ignore that. It's not there anymore. Ta-da! They also renamed Angular CLI JSON, which is the configuration file for the Angular CLI, into .Angular CLI JSON. So we also need to handle that. Then they added a new environment setup where they say instead of having just one here for the source, the dev, and the production, they actually changed that to having an environment source and environments dev and production. So if you run my code, you'll probably get this error right now, at least in the older versions. So we need to change this inside the code as well, inside the Angular CLI code. That's a lot of stuff to do. Now the easy solution would probably be just to download the newest version, do an ng new, and just build the project again, copy all your components over, and everything would be running again. I think that would be a solution. Another solution is to ignore the update and just inside your code, let's just go to the code, just keep this as Angular 30 like we had before, right? Keep that as the version here and as the version in the package.json, and then make sure that this is the version you're downloading as your global version. That is another solution. But I'm going to just go in and have a look and just manually change the things that they wanted to change. Like they added the schema, so we need that one. They added, let me do something better. This is going to be a problem explaining. So what I did is, I went into, let's go into GitHub here. I went into my course planner, just the path here, and then I wrote compare. This is something you can do from your GitHub as well. Then I wrote the first tag or the first version that I want to compare, and then I wrote I want to compare it with the master. Now I can see every change I've done since I started my project down here. Let me just zoom out again. I'll do a plus a few times so you guys can see what's written here. So now I'm going to run over all the file change that has happened at 25 commits. But what are all the file changes since the first time I wrote this? As I said, I added this new schema to the Angular CLI file. That was step 1. I changed the beta version from 30 to 32. That was step 2. This I kept as it is. I changed the prefix to CP, but we did that earlier, so that's no difference. No difference here either. That's changes we made in the videos. Now here's the environment change we did. So instead of having environment source in here, I moved it to the outside. Just like they requested inside the changelog right here. So it's here, remove it. They actually print this if the error pops up. So you have to do that. Add-ons was something that was also added. So that was the changes we have to do in the Angular CLI. And then one more major change, which is I changed the name of Angular CLI into .Angular CLI. But I didn't do that until version 23. So you won't see that here right now. Okay, so I hope that helps. These are the changes you will have to make if you update from 30 to 32 in the beta version. Hopefully the CLI will be stable at some point so you don't have to do that ever again. Any other changes? Let me just scroll down here just to have a look. The package.json, you also have to go into the package.json actually on dev dependencies. You have to explain as well that you actually changed from 30 to 32 as your CLI. So this just means when we're doing development, it would actually automatically download 30 if you guys didn't specify that you wanted 32. So it should still run on your machines, unless you change this. Good. What else is there? Well, let's just scroll over the code since we're here anyway, because I think that's pretty much it for these changes for the version change. And then I'll make a new video where we talk about another issue that we just got because we're working with beta software. That's the way it is. When you're working with beta software, you'll get issues sometimes, and they explain that. Don't be ready to ship this until you really we figure out all the bugs and we can help you solve them. So I'm just scrolling over all my changes here. Isn't that cool? I can see all my changes in one single screen. I love it. It's freaking awesome. This compare function is great. You should go and use it if you don't already do that. Of course, I could also go for a specific tag, which is a higher number. We can end up with that if we want to just try that. I'll show you where we go up a few tags just to show you. Index HTML, nothing changed, nothing changed, nothing changed. So that's pretty much it. That's the changes that we went over to make this run. Sweet. Let me just try and show you as the final thing here before we shut this video down. If I wanted to, I could actually go in here and put in another tag or another version of my code. So let's just try version 0.20 for the fun of it. Let's try this one. It makes the changes again, and there are 6 files changed since that version. Again, just look how cool this is. I can see exactly what was changed in those versions. And this is actually what I should have shown you, because here's the basic change that we needed to do to actually make the CLI part work. And here I even added the new .angular CLI JSON to the setup, right? So I just wanted to show you that. See you in the next lesson where we'll talk about another change which is into the Angular material setup. Have fun.